At last, the prequel to the Wayne's World movie we've all been waiting on. That will mean something completely different in a couple minutes when we get into this review. Hey everyone, it's me, Aaron.
I'm Michelle.
And this is our post-Geek Out reaction for Bohemian Rhapsody. Oh man, it feels weird to say post-Geek Out again after doing an entire month of the post-Shriek Out for Halloween.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about saying Happy Halloween at the end either.
Yeah, sorry that this review is not going up on Friday or even Saturday. I don't even know if it will go up on Sunday, but yeah, after putting out 46 videos over the course of 31 days for our month-long Halloween celebration, I needed a few days off. But we are now getting back into the swing of it, reviewing brand new movies every single weekend, and the big movie this weekend was Bohemian Rhapsody. At the time that I'm recording this, it's definitely the #1 movie at the box office. It's pulled in a ton of cash, so yeah, people were excited for this movie. And I can understand why.
Yeah.
This is the movie for Queen's fans.
Oh yeah, I think maybe like music fans in general, because Queen is such a huge like influence on the music history.
Queen has always been that band that I'm like, oh yeah, I like Queen. They did this song and this song and this song. And then like, it'll just slowly come back to me. It's like, oh wait, they also did this song. And this song. And this song. And that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. And that's what this entire movie is. This entire movie is just, oh, hey, I really like this song. Oh, wait, that's Queen that did this? Yeah, like I constantly, throughout this entire movie, kept going, oh, God, I completely forgot this was, Queen did this. Okay, all right. So yeah, they are a mega band. They are one of the most iconic bands in music history. And this is the biopic of not Queen, but specifically Freddie Mercury. It is specifically about him. And let me just say, normally on these reviews, for anybody who's not seen one of these before, we come in here and we do like a little, exchange about our feelings about, then we give our score, then we do a little bit of spoiler talk for anybody who's interested in what all the spoiler stuff is. We're not going to do the spoiler stuff because it's a biopic.
Yeah, it's obvious if you know.
Spoiler alert, Freddie Mercury has something really bad happen at the end of his life.
Yeah, it sucks.
I wanted to bring that up because I know a lot of people are mad at this movie because they didn't really cover the fact that Freddie Mercury got AIDS all that much. And I have been hearing that they weren't even going to touch on it at all in one of the drafts. And I will say, it is a part of this story. They do bring it up. But they do still skim over it, like, real quick.
Yeah, it's like Freddie, he mentioned, like, I don't want to be the poster boy for AIDS, so it's like, maybe that's why? Or maybe
yeah, but
just,
this isn't Freddie Mercury, like, coming in here making his own
No,
biopic.
that's true. That would be weird.
Man.
But, like, I think it might also have to do with the fact that it's just, like, AIDS is just a very depressing thing, and, like,
it's still, that's the thing. Yeah, it is, which is why it needs to be talked about.
Yeah.
Especially in the movie about a guy who died from AIDS. And they, even at the end of this movie, they come up and they do the little, like, here's what happened after this, here's what happened after that. And they come in here and they say that he died because of AIDS-related pneumonia in 1991. And then the other members of his band put together a Freddie Mercury charity, which is all about combating AIDS.
Yeah.
It's like, it's weird that at the end of this, you come in here with the little, like, title cards that go, here's why it's important to fight against AIDS. But in the actual story of the movie itself, it was like, we don't, real quick here at the end, it has to come up, but that's it. It's like, yeah, I understand people being pissed about that.
Yeah.
I totally understand that. But I'm going to come in here and say I have a lot of other problems with this movie aside from that. And we haven't really discussed this. We typically save our discussions for here on the show because it makes for better talking points. But based on our reactions after we got out there, I'd be willing to say you like this movie way more than I did.
I think it's more because I'm like more of a Queen's fan than you are.
And that's what this movie is. This is a movie for Queen's fans. I already said that, but I want to stress that because this is not the, all right, let's tell the story of Queen. This is when this song happened.
Yeah.
This is when this song happened. Then we're going into this thing right here.
Also, I was also very excited about this movie because, like, Freddie Mercury is such an interesting person.
He really is, and I didn't know much about him.
Oh, yeah. It's like, sometimes I would, like, read, like, little information about him here and there on the internet. I was like, oh, wow, that's really cool. It's like, and the more I learned about it, the more I realized what an amazing guy he was.
Yeah, he really is a powerful character, and I will just come in here and say, even though I have problems with this movie, If Rami Malek ends up getting nominated for Best Actor for this film, I'd be fine with it. I would not argue because, oh my god, he disappeared into this role. He just vanished into that character. And for the first, like, 2/3 of the movie, I kept looking at it, I was like, well, he's got the attitude down. I mean, that definitely is not Mr. Robot or Josh from Until Dawn or a third thing that he's done that I'm not aware of. I'm sure that he has a massive IMDb page, but those are the two things that I know him from. I kept looking, I was like, I don't really see him in there at all. Like, he is really just sinking into this character. I don't even know if he actually sung the songs in here.
Yeah, it's like, I was trying to, like, figure that out, too.
Because, god damn, if he sung all these songs, he is a master at not just capturing Freddie Mercury's personality, but also, like, you could be like Freddie Mercury's son for all I know. Like, you just nailed every single bit, every single, like, I kept thinking that they were pre-recorded lines, like maybe they actually took Freddie Mercury's songs. Like, but then there'd be moments where he would be like practicing a song and they'd stop in the middle and it's like, oh no, fuck, that's actually like them singing this.
Yeah, I think it might have been like a combination of the two. And if
maybe. I think actually more likely what it probably was is they probably got a singer who could perfectly match Freddie Mercury and then had them do all the singing parts and then had this actor like Rami Malek like sync up with it. But again, I don't know. I'm just guessing that because I can't imagine somebody acting this well and also singing that well. It would blow my mind if he was capable of that. If he can do that, he's a powerhouse. But and
if not, then damn, those are some really amazing like sound editing. Sound editing,
yeah. The sound editors on this deserve some applause as well. But yeah, throughout the first like 2/3 of this, I was like, he's absolutely got the attitude. And I'm not seeing Rami Malek in there, but I'm not really seeing Freddie Mercury when I look at him either. But when it gets into the last third, when he gets Freddie Mercury's more iconic look, the short hair and the big mustache, oh man, is that Freddie Mercury in there. Like, oh, he completely sinks into this character. Yeah, so they did a fantastic job of that. Like I said, even though I have problems I'm about to go into, if he ends up winning the Oscar this year for Best Actor, I'm fine with it. I think he absolutely got it. And Peach thought I was playing with her because I was clapping. Bam! Yeah, get up on the lap. Get a foothold on the lap. Sneeze on my arm. Lick my arm. Okay. You good, Peach? Are you finally chill? Okay, but here, let me go into like some of my problems. And my first big problem is that this feels so much like, aside from like, I say about a third of the movie, not even the last third of the movie, but like a third of the movie kind of like at the 60% mark of the movie, like 60% of the way, like a little bit past halfway of the movie. Then it becomes like a really solid biopic, I feel. But the rest of the film feels almost like a caricature of what a biopic is.
Yeah, it's
because
like
so much of it, like, I mean,
the beginning was very rushed.
The beginning's very rushed.
Which is, I feel weird saying that because, like, this is like a 2 hour.
It's 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah, so
which so many biopics are like 2.5 to 3 hours, and I don't want that. Although I will say, this movie for 2 hours and 15 minutes, it flies by. It goes pretty quick. But yeah, I've always said when it comes to biopics, it's typically better to just focus on one part of someone's life rather than all of someone's life.
Yeah.
And I felt like they should have done that with this film because, yeah, the beginning of this, it's very rushed, but there's even parts in here in which I was like, that can't be how it actually happened. Maybe it is how it actually happened. Maybe it went down exactly like it was portrayed in this movie, but there's so many moments in this movie where, here's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. When they go and get their record made, their very first record made, they're singing in the booth, and then some guy in a suit walks in and goes, "Hey, I'm a big time record producer here. Who's this band here? I'm really enjoying what they have to do. Let me get a track of that."
Yeah, we can't say Hollywood Big Shot because this is all taking place in Britain. Yeah,
I had to stop myself right there. But yeah, like that literally happens. I was like, is that what actually happened? Like literally when they were recording it, like Mr. H.P. Dimmadale came walking in there. Just like, hey there, I'm looking for that hot new sound. What are these guys up to right now? It's like, is that what actually happened? And there's so many moments in this movie that go just like that. Like later on in the film, when they get to the all is lost moment where the band is like breaking up and they're doing like the typical in-fight, which again, that part I know actually happened. It's just kind of, even though it's a bit of a cliche, it's a cliche for a reason. That is what actually happens in a lot of bands. So I'm not holding anything against them for that. But there's a moment in which Freddie Mercury and the lead guitarist, no, the drummer, are getting into an argument, and then as they're arguing, the bass player takes out his bass and just boom, 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 boom. And then they stop and go, hey, did you write that? I really like that song. And then they just start singing. It's like, well, that's how they got that song. That wasn't the song that they were actually playing, though. I can't remember which one they started playing during that. But, I mean, it was exactly what happened there. And again, that could be what happened in real life. But, man, it feels so just kind of like cookie cutter. And here's the invention of this song, everyone. So, yeah, there is a really solid biopic in this movie. And it comes to that point where Freddie Mercury's life is kind of falling apart. His wife or fiance, I never could figure that out in the movie.
They didn't show the wedding scenes.
Yeah, but if they didn't get married, then they were engaged for years, but she knew that he was gay. No,
bisexual.
Well, he says, I think I'm bisexual, and then she goes, Freddie, you're gay. That was another thing that I was trying to figure out. I was like, okay, is he actually bisexual, or is he gay, and he just didn't want to come out and flat out say gay, so like, all right, let me go halfway in between here, so that way she'll still stay with me. Because after that point, we never saw him with another woman throughout the rest of the entire movie. So yeah.
Well, that being said, he has flirted with some of the women, like when he had that big party.
Well, he was flirting with everyone.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So I mean, he could. That's the thing. Again, that is something that this movie it doesn't really make certain parts of Freddie Mercury's life all that clear. Was he gay? Was he bisexual? Was he pansexual? Yeah, this movie, it never really makes stuff like that clear. And considering that that's a large part of who Freddie Mercury is and what this movie is focusing on, it's kind of a little bit of a failure.
Like, didn't he, like, make an official statement that he was bisexual or something?
Maybe he did. I don't, yeah. Again, you know more about Freddie Mercury's life than I do. But yeah, so there comes the moment during Freddie Mercury's life where his significant other, we'll just say that, she's living in the house across from him, and he's still trying to communicate with her, and she's like, oh yeah, hey, Freddie. Like, she loves Freddie, but she doesn't want to just be the wife to someone who is clearly not interested in her. But then he's got a boyfriend who is like slowly like dismantling him and the entire band. All that stuff was really well done in this film. I thought that was really fascinating, but I feel like everything outside of that, like I said, this is the Queen biopic for fans of Queen, because it's just like, hey, do you want to see them performing on stage? Do you want to hear when this song got invented? Do you want to see them shooting this music video? Do you want to see them doing this thing? It was kind of like, now that's what I call a Queen's biopic. Like, it was just the greatest hits in there. That's it. And it's like, yeah, I kind of wish that you had just focused a little bit more on a specific part and not gone down just like the here's what you do in a biopic checklist. And a lot of biopics do that, but they can still, like, give those moments weight. And I feel like a lot of this, especially in, like, the first half of this movie, it was just bam, 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 just knocking them all out.
I feel like they were just trying to, like, get to the part where, like, Queen, like, got big and everything. So.
But I feel like even then, it still kind of just went way too rapidly. And a good example of what I'm talking about is that Queen isn't just Freddie Mercury. This is the Freddie Mercury biopic, but there's 3 other members of Queen, and man, those guys are just Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
They are just the dudes from Spinal Tap. They are each there just to deliver a joke. And don't get me wrong, they're actually really good jokes. I was actually laughing every time that this movie wanted me to laugh. I gotta applaud the movie for that. But yeah, this movie, it gives Freddie so much focus and weight. I got like nothing from the other guys in here. Mm-hmm. And again, it's not their movie. I understand that.
But like Freddie keeps saying like, this band is my family. And it's like, if that's the case, you should probably put more emphasis on some of the other band members.
Also, just imagine any movie out there where it only focuses on the main character and every single other character is a little bit flat and not really... hold on, Peach. Come here. Our dog's barking at the dogs down the hall. Ah, I'm Peach. But yeah, imagine any movie out there where only the main character is really getting any kind of focus or depth to them, and all the other characters around them are kind of a little bit flat. Like, yeah, you'd still have to buy your finger at it. And you kind of have to whack double fingers at a biopic for doing that, because like, yeah, that's not even you like bad writing. These are real people. This isn't a character you create and then give anything to.
I was honestly looking forward to like the David Bowie Queen's mashup with Under Pressure.
Yeah.
But no David Bowie. It's like, I guess because they wanted to focus mostly on Queen, but still, and
yeah.
Because I'm also a big David Bowie fan.
You are a big David Bowie fan. But there was a moment in this movie in which they keep making jokes about how the drummer was going to be a dentist, the lead guitarist was going to be an astrophysicist. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
But then they have to hire this bass player. The bass player gets nothing.
Yeah.
Like, he is just there. You never see them, like, audition anyone. He's just, like, cut. They now have a bass player.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I was like, oh, he came with another one, Bites the Dust. And that was his only tribute. Like,
yeah, that was really the only thing you give this guy. And then, like, way later in the film, like I said, throughout the movie, they make little jokes about how the drummer was going to be a dentist and the guitarist was going to be this. Way later in the film, when they're breaking up, David Bowie was like, if it wasn't for me.
David Bowie.
Sorry. Freddie Mercury was making jokes, is talking to him and saying, if it wasn't for me, you'd be a dentist somewhere. And you'd be writing some very eloquent, detailed doctorate that no one would ever read on astrophysics. And you, I don't even know what you were going to be. It's like, they actually call out the fact that they have not given this guy anything in this entire movie. It's like, wow, okay. I don't even know if the movie was self-aware if that's what it was doing. But that is what they did. They kind of called themselves out on it.
Yeah.
But again, they're really entertaining in this movie.
And like, that's the thing. I felt like this was just like your very standard, basic bio movie.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's a biopic, it's a bio movie of Queen and Freddie Mercury is what makes it so interesting, because it's such a fascinating band and he's such a fascinating character.
And that's what I keep going back to. This is a Queen biopic for Queen fans, because do you just want to see Queen? Good, you're getting that. There you are. And if that's exactly what you want out of this movie, awesome. You got it. Hooray for you. I'm not going to come in here and like say, well, you're wrong for liking this movie. No, not at all. Movies are made for different people. This one was definitely made for the Queen fans out there. And yeah, man, if you're a Queen fan, go ahead and enjoy that thing. And again, I am a Queen fan, but I was more of it in this just for like, yeah, I just want to see a good movie. Like, I don't really care about like what the subject matter of a movie is. I care more about the execution of the movie. And yeah, I think the execution was kind of flawed, but I still had fun with this.
Yeah.
I still did enjoy myself, and it is because, yeah, man, Queen does play really good songs. The actors up here are really darn good. Those three other members of the band, they might have been really flat and had nothing over them, but they deliver some entertaining lines in here. And yeah, the pacing of this thing might be all over the place, and I think that they kind of drop the ball and just get really cookie cutter with what they think a biopic should be. But I still walked out of it feeling really good.
Yeah.
Like, I still had a good time at this movie.
Because we're having a good time, having a good time. Sorry, I had to.
I'll make that the opening to this. I'll make that the opening to this video. Don't you tempt me. So yeah, I did enjoy this. I just see a bunch of flaws in it.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about before we get into our final score?
They played The Show Must Go On during the credits, which I kind of felt was, once again, a bit of a disappointment, because that was Freddie Mercury's last song he ever sang. He literally sang that on his deathbed.
Wow, I didn't know that. Well, yeah, like I said, you know way more about this band than I do.
Yeah. So I kind of was hoping that it would end with him recording that song, just because it's like, this is Freddie, like, he wants to go out with a bang. And I kind of wanted this to go with a bang, but, like, I guess the Live Aid's concert was...
Again, you want to talk about how this is a movie for Queens fans. The end of this movie is literally just the Live Aid concert. And I don't mean like it ends with them getting up there at Live Aid and they sing a song, which I thought is how it was going to end. They sing their opening song for Live Aid, and then they continue to do the entire Live Aid performance up there. And I was just like, is this seriously going to be the entire thing? And yeah, it was the entire thing. And they kept cutting to like all the money that Live Aid was making off of this performance. And they would cut to people crying in the audience. And it was just the entire show. And I just looked at that like, yeah, I know. You know what? I kind of look at this as like, all right, man, let's move this ending along a little bit. even though I was enjoying it, I was just kind of like, yeah, it kind of just feels weird to show the entire performance here at the end. But again, I know who this movie was made for. It was made for the people who want to watch the entire Live Aid performance at the end of it. So, all right, I'm not going to, like, hey, man, again, I'm just giving my personal take on it, but I can totally see the people who love that ending, who love them ending with the entire performance there, because that's kind of who this movie was aimed at. And you got to judge a film based on who it's aimed at. So, yeah, let's see. I guess that's about all that I have to say about this. Oh, no, one other little secret. There was one moment in here in which I don't know if I love this or hate it in the movie. There's a moment in which they're meeting with their record producer, their record agent, whoever he is. And he's talking to them about how no one is going to want to listen to Bohemian Rhapsody. It's 6 minutes long. No one is going to crank up Bohemian Rhapsody when they're with their friends in the cars and start shaking their heads around. I was like, he's literally describing the scene from Wayne's World where they did that exact thing. And then, like, a few more lines went on, and I went, that's Michael Myers! And I looked up when I got home. It was Michael Myers. It was Wayne from Wayne's World. They literally got Wayne from Wayne's World to come in here for the scene where Bohemian Rhapsody gets introduced, and he says, no one will do the scene from Wayne's World to this. And I don't know if I love that or hate it. I don't know if I'm like, oh, that's a really clever Easter egg. Or if it's like, wow, movie, you just stopped the entire film to just go, remember Wayne's World, everyone? I don't know how I feel about that. How do you feel about that scene?
I don't know either.
Yeah, it's so
like, I know a lot of people got introduced to Queens because of Wayne's World.
I kind of feel like he deserved to have, like,
a little...
a
little mention, but...
If they wanted to have him in here as the record producer that they tried to sell Bohemian Rhapsody to, I think that's freaking awesome. But the fact that they actually stopped to go, yeah, remember Wayne's World? No one's gonna do Wayne's World, says me, guy from Wayne's World. I was like, I feel like that might have been like... I think that's what it is. I love the Easter egg of Michael Myers being the guy in there, because I get it, I get that reference. But I think the fact that they actually, like, stopped to go, I'm Michael Myers from Wayne's World, everyone. I was like, all right, you know, like, I think that's what I hate about it. It's like, you went that one step too far. But everything else about that joke I love is like, that's kind of what this entire movie is to me.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I like this, but you could just, like, now a little toned it back a bit, like...
No, I wouldn't say tone back.
But it's like,
you just mishandled it, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a line here I love, but the execution does not work always.
Right.
But yeah, time for the score. Just speaking as my own personal opinion in here, I give it a 6. It's above average, but I see tons of problems in the way the film was made, but it's still really fun, and I did enjoy myself, so it's got even out to about a 6 for me.
I'd probably give it like a 7.5, maybe 8, because like I said, I'm a big Queens fan. Freddie Mercury is such an interesting person, and I think that's what drives this movie.
Yes.
Like, other than that, it would just be like a very basic, by-the-numbers biopic, bio-story, bio-movie, whatever.
Yeah, biopic. Which, again, normally I try to look at a film and say, okay, well, even if it's not for me, how would the audience that this was aimed at react? Like, if a movie is aimed at a specific audience, I should judge it based on how well it succeeds for that audience. But I didn't do that here today because I knew you would. Because I knew this was aimed at you. So I was like, I'll just give my opinion on you can handle giving it what the Queens fans would give it. And yeah, I kept thinking this is probably like an 8 for a Queens fan. So yeah, if you're giving it an 8, I'm giving it a 6. Like, that's about, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fun time. And you know what? I'm not mad I saw this in theaters.
No.
Even with me giving it a 6, I'm glad I saw it in theaters. It's with how much production they put into it and with how good the music is and how good all the performances are in here. Yeah, it's totally worth checking out in theaters. If you have not seen it yet, I absolutely think that it is worth taking a look in theaters. Realize it is there are moments where it's going to have like a made-for-TV level of biopicness to it. Yeah, there are so many moments in here where it's just, hey, folks, this amazing thing is happening right now. It's like, yeah, okay, that's, all right, fine. Which, I feel so bad for saying that because I don't know if that is exactly how some of these things happen.
Yeah, you can't really tell with the
But there's some, but again, you need to kind of change stuff in a biopic every now and again to realize, yeah, maybe that doesn't work in a movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you can go up to Freddy and say, hey, is this what really happened? Like,
yeah. But okay, so that was it. Thank you guys for tuning in. We are now back to doing brand new movie reviews every single weekend. So our next one will be going up on next Friday, which I don't know what comes out next Friday. I know Overlord, the J.J. Abrams World War II guys fighting off monster zombies movie comes out, so I'll be checking that out. But there's like an actual like big movie coming out next week. I don't even remember what it is. You guys will know what it is. Let me know in the comments down below what movie you want me to review next week. I'll just review what I was going to review anyways, but still, it'll be good to hear from you guys. Thank you very much. We have to go now because there's been a fly buzzing around our apartment this entire month and driving us insane.
And Peach is chasing after it.
And Peach is chasing it. So before she runs headfirst into my camera, bye.
Bye.